guys, Knife Detector here, and I wanted to talk to you about this cool knife. I mentioned it in a previous video. This knife I was lucky enough to get for $5, guys. $5 on eBay plus shipping, came out to about $9. And this is a fantastic Rough Rider knife. Came in this box. It's called Gunstock Bone Rough Rider. And this particular knife is very interesting because, well, first of all, it's a beautiful knife, as you can see. But let's take a closer look. Look at that. Look at that whiskey-colored bone right there. Rough Rider insignia. It's a really cool Rough Rider insignia right there. And check out the main blade. The main blade has a thumb opening just like some of those Spyderco knives. And it also has a match strike nail nick. That is what attracted me to this knife when I first saw it. It was the shape of the main blade. And then it has, of course, the small blade. It's kind of like a Warncliffe type blade or a sheep's foot. Now, this knife has a secret. Yes, because it has that opening, you can open it like this as well. But when I first tried to close it, I was at a loss because I pulled and nothing happened. And then I thought, wait a minute. There used to be a knife back in the day. I can't remember which kind of knife that was. And it was kind of like a trick knife. And the only way to close it, the main blade, was to press down on the smaller blade. So then I thought, self, let's try that. So I pressed the small blade in, and lo and behold, I was able to close the main blade. It snaps open. So in order to close the main blade, you have to press in the small blade just like that. See? And what that does is that depresses the spring, and that allows you to close the main blade. So theoretically, I could squeeze like this and then push it down, just like so. One hand, see? My hands are a little big to do a one-hand opening, but you squeeze that in, and you have to do it carefully so you don't chop your fingers off. And that I don't recommend you do that because you might cut yourself. But normally, you just squeeze it in, and you can do two-hand just like that. Wow, huh? It's a secret opening. And I know that probably some of the older knives have that same method of closing the knife. I can't remember any examples off the top of my head, but I do remember one that was like that. And that's why I decided to try that and figured that out. But how cool of Rough Rider is it to make a knife that has that type of closing mechanism on it? How cool is it of Rough Rider to make a knife like this that has a traditional design? It kind of looks like a trapper type design. It's got the large blade and the small blade, and it has that trick closing to it. But it also has a blade that looks very, very modern, like some of the modern Spyderco knives. And it still has a nail nick to boot. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I thought this was a cool knife to show. And basically, I'm just sharing my good fortune because, like I said, I got lucky. And I only paid $5 for this knife. And let's take a closer look at just the small blade. Well, I can see myself carrying this knife very often. And since it's about the size of a trapper, you can probably carry it in your pocket, or you can carry it in a trapper sheath, which is probably what I will do. So, until then, this is Knife Detector signing off, guys, saying, look at all these wonderful opportunities are out there. There's knives on eBay, and if you get a chance, and once they start opening up the flea markets and thrift stores, go out there. You might find yourself a small treasure. And if you're lucky, you won't have to pay a treasure to get the treasure you seek. This is Knife Detector signing off, saying stay sharp, keep your wits just as sharp as your knives, if not sharper. God bless.